This week, Erie County banned products that contain microbeads. These are little bits of plastic that environmentalists say end up piling up in lakes and rivers, causing considerable damage. This comes after a failed effort to pass a statewide ban, but supporters are hoping that the Erie County law will help create some momentum. Joining me now from Buffalo to talk more about this issue is County Legislator Patrick Burke. He was the sponsor of this measure. Thank you so much, County Legislator, for being with me.
Thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
So what was the impetus for this ban? I mean, was it specifically local concerns for you in terms of, microbeads piling up in Lake Erie, or did some constituents come to you, or how did it happen?
Like everybody else, we watched the action of the Attorney General, and we expected that Albany would take action. So we waited patiently. We put in resolutions through the Erie County Legislature, and our position along Lake Erie and the historical problems that the lake has had with pollution, we felt that our advocacy would help push the process along. It didn't, unfortunately. So we felt obligated to take action, and we wanted to also put in a law that was pretty comprehensive, that could lead the way and be pretty strict and not allow for any loopholes.
Right. So, okay, just to catch people up in case they haven't been following this issue, you're speaking of the State Attorney General, Eric Schneiderman. He released a report regarding the harm that microbeads have been causing to the environment in various different waterways in the state, and then subsequently introduced or called for this state ban. Subsequently, that didn't happen in Albany. Now you've got Senator Kirsten Gillibrand involved at the federal level. So there are many levels of government, and we have seen things come bubbling up from the local level before, like the cell phone ban while driving, for example. That started at the local level. The problem, critics would say, is that you create a patchwork of laws. For example, something that is legal just outside the boundaries of Erie County is no longer legal inside.
Certainly, and I understand that, and I don't necessarily disagree with that, but in the absence of nothing, this is the best we could do, and we're already really seeing the positive effects this law is having as an advocacy tool. Some large markets locally here, Tops Markets, which also spans across several states, has committed to removing all microbead products off of their shelves within the strict 6-month timeline that the Erie County ban has, and we're seeing other places like Wegmans is now looking to follow suit. So doing it on this local level is really having an effect, a reverberating effect across the state and even just in the Northeast.
From what I've read, there was actually a minimal amount of opposition, and I found that incredibly surprising. I mean, we have seen so much opposition from various different, industry individuals to other stuff like the GMO labeling bill, for example, that has similar impacts, which is to say, New York would have something different than a neighboring state. And this is even more significant. I mean, you can't sell a specific toothpaste or a specific face wash inside Erie County where you could do it right next door. Were you surprised by the lack of opposition?
To a certain degree, but it was a long road. I think having both sides of the aisle supportive of this was really fundamental, and it pushed it along quite swiftly once we got the Republicans on board supporting the law. I did expect a little bit more pushback, to be honest with you, but it didn't happen, at least not till the very end. And even at that point, when the county executive here had his public hearing, one lobbyist showed up to make a brief statement, and it wasn't a compelling argument. It seemed that once it had gone in motion, there was really no going back.
Okay, so just to be clear, I mean, this is about products in all stores, in different types of stores. I mean, also, it does not extend to what people can purchase online, right? So if you're really addicted to your face wash and you can no longer get it at your local CVS, you could always get it, I don't know, on Yahoo or Amazon somewhere.
They can, but I think this law has several aspects to it. One of it is educating people. So I have not had one consumer come to me and say, you're taking my favorite face wash away. What they're saying is, I can't believe these products existed. I can't believe this was happening. Let me know which products have it, and I won't buy them anyway. So certainly you may have some folks go drive to get their favorite polluting face wash or what have you, but I don't see that happening in large quantities. I think while this law educates folks, I think that they will turn to other products.
So what is it then that you plan to do going forward? I mean, you said that you hope that this is an impetus to urge people in Albany to move. I mean, do you even think that urging Albany to move is actually a good idea, or should you just bypass Albany altogether? It doesn't look like the Senate Republicans, as long as they control the chamber, are interested in this one. I mean, perhaps you could have more traction in D.C., although, you know, gridlock there reigns there fairly frequently, but who knows?
Yeah, D.C., Albany. I don't know. We've certainly had counties throughout the state, and even in Ohio, reach out to us to ask for the law to see if they could enact something at their locale. And again, a patchwork wouldn't be the best approach, but if it's becoming a movement, I think you'll see action in Albany. It was my observation that this was just a lack of a priority for the Senate rather than them just being generally opposed. More importantly, I think this law does not allow for any loopholes, which the Illinois ban that went through the Illinois state, that one allowed for several loopholes that could generally still allow plastic microbeads into our water systems. This county ban doesn't allow for any of that, and I hope more counties and more state governments, and of course a federal ban would be fantastic, also are equally as strict. When
you talk about educating people, how much is that going to cost?
It hasn't cost the county of Erie anything right now, and it's educated people significantly. Right now, I think talking about it and making it an issue is educating the public. There's been several stories in the Buffalo News, the single largest paper in the western New York area, outlining some of the hazards of plastic microbeads. Even so much that they had a dentist that they interviewed.
I saw that. Yeah.
Said he can tell when someone is using toothpaste with plastic microbeads because he's finding them in their teeth. This crosses the bounds, health-wise, environment-wise. I think the more people find out, the less they want anything to do with these products.
Okay, so I guess the question was ill-formed, so forgive me, but I guess what I meant was when you're trying to educate people and there's an education component to the bill, you're not talking about a public awareness campaign per se.
No, not a formal. This wasn't the launching of a formal campaign from Erie County. It's education through this process. So as the law takes effect, the impact it has on the media, reaches out to the public, they become more aware of it, and we expect that a lot of people will not want these products, or will check to see which products contain plastic microbeads and choose all on their own not to use them.
Right. Well, there are alternatives, and you can get products that have apricot kernels, for example, or oatmeal, or some other sort of an abrasive item that helps at least clean your skin. I'm not so sure about cleaning your teeth with oatmeal. Maybe we'll have some dentists write it and advise us on that. I thank you very much, County Legislator, and perhaps we will see you in the halls of Albany advocating on this particular issue.
Perhaps one day. Thank you.